Okay, we're jumping on here again. I moved my light. Who knew, like 1 bar of internet could change just by moving it. But I put my light on because I want a little extra. With the way that I'm facing the window right here, it's like sideways. So I need to make sure that I'm getting light. I want to make sure that I'm even here because today we are talking placement. And it is like, this is a hard one because so many times I say like, everyone's face is different, so placement is different and there's no right or wrong way. But yet at the same time, there is kind of a right and wrong way. So I'm going to show you. But a couple housekeeping items. Today is our last day of class, of our Advanced HAC Class. But don't be sad. We still have the VIP group where we are close. I just put a post in there. That's why I was running behind and then I had to use the restroom before I jumped on here. But I just put a post. We are 9 members away from hitting 200 ladies in the VIP group. So I'm just blown away. But I want to do some fun stuff in there next week or the week after. I'll let you guys kind of vote. And I was thinking 5 days of giveaways because I have some fun little things. Not all saint related. Some are beauty related. So I think that should be a good time. So don't fret with this being the last day of class. And I am going to have a post later today asking if there's stuff that I didn't cover. I want to make sure that I'm bringing value to my VIP group and to all of you ladies throughout the year, not just a class specific. So if there's something that I missed, some of these tutorials I'm going to go over again and again, and I'm going to create some good videos so there's references. This group isn't going to go away either. So I am not going to delete any of the videos, any of the posts. So they are here for reference if you need them. So here's my little housekeeping item. And I put it in a comment earlier this morning along with some thank yous. If you ever watch a video or you see I'm doing a live video, but you know that you can't watch it at that time, where the post is, there are like 3 little dots up in the corner, okay? Not everyone knows this. It took me a while to learn this. There are 3 little dots. If you click on the dots, you can actually choose from like a drop-down menu and it says save video, okay? You can save video, you can save a post, you can save a link, you can save whatever you want and you're able to save it. So for me, what I do, like when I want to watch fun new tutorials from other artists, I will save it and I created a little subfolder of like saint videos to watch or beauty inspiration or things like that. So that way when I have time, if we are, I don't know, sitting on the couch and I don't want to watch what my husband's watching, I can go to my saved content and watch it anytime. Or for you ladies, if you want to try the Camel Bridge Pop and you're like, oh crap, where is that? Save that video and that way you can always go back to it, reference it when you're getting ready and you need a refresher. I'm also, I have quite a few YouTube videos. So I really want to make sure that I am getting some new content up there. So that's kind of my 2022 first quarter goal, is to make sure that I have more content on the YouTube because that's another easy way for women, especially if you don't come on Facebook a lot, to get some videos. Okay, let's get started. Placement, placement, placement. I put some colors together that we are going to use today. I have my main color on. I put it on early this morning because I was sick of going past myself in the mirror and not seeing any main. So I have my main color on, but I didn't do any contour. I didn't do any brightening, lip and cheek, anything like that, because I want to show you placements, okay? So I am going to use kind of a brighter one for me, Aura, and a darker one, Indigo. So this is my brightening and this is my contour. And the reason why I want to do that, because I really want you to be able to see the difference when I do them on both sides. Then I picked one of my favorites, La Cienega, and then we're going to play with Illuminator too. This one is Starlit. I swiped it the other day. I feel like it pulls some of the pigments from La Cienega, so I think these two are really pretty to pair. But I'm gonna do 2 different sides. So I apologize. I'm going to go work out after this, so I may look crazy, or I might look that crazy where I'm gonna take it off. We're gonna see where it goes, because usually I don't do one side of my face one way and the other a complete opposite, but I want to be able to show you ladies. So this is going to be the quote unquote, right? My kids think that's the funniest thing right now, doing air quotes. The correct side of doing placement. This side I'm gonna do quote unquote incorrectly, okay? But I just want you to be able to see, and I need to swipe things away, how placement can really play a huge component into the structure and the look that you're trying to achieve. Mostly I'm going to use my detail brush here because it's easiest for me to show you, especially when we come into some of the contour. So that's what we're going to start with first. So correct side, incorrect side. I'm going to come into my contour. I'm going to use the same amounts. Okay, so this, I like to, when I place it on my cheekbones, I like to come in here. And later on this afternoon, I am doing a whole tutorial just on contour placement. So I'll go into more depth on where, like tips and tricks, okay? So for placement, I like to come kind of right in this area here. You can always feel for your cheekbone. So like this is the top of my cheekbone. So right underneath that is my base. Or you can look at, okay, where does my ear connect to my face, right? And I want to come to the outside of my eye. So I'm going to just come on in and create that angle, create that contour right on that side, okay? So you can see I'm coming right in from my hairline. We talked about that the other day. Pull it all the way back, because if you put your hair in a pony, you don't want to be missing any contour. And then I'm stopping right outside here, okay? The other approach, which sometimes, especially when you're first starting, is, or maybe you've seen this on videos, is go make your fishy lips, okay? Where that indent is, that's where your contour should go. So if we played to that approach, and we do that, let's place it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay? We're gonna see what happens, right? Okay, so this is where we're lining up here and we're stopping here. This one is if we were to go into that hollow part of our face, which a lot of times when we start, we think, ooh, we wanna go into that hollow part right here. When we do that that little fishy face, right? And we wanna pull it in super far. Okay? 2 different approaches. That's what we're gonna do here. Let's blend this out a little. Well, let's place our forehead next. I'm gonna come back in. This side, we're coming up to our hairline, right? And I am not going to go all the way into my temple, okay? I'm gonna stop right above that because I want that area to be nice and bright. I really want you guys to make sure that you're seeing all of this as much as you can. So let me just pull this back here. Okay. I might look goofy, but that's okay. I'll do it for you ladies. Okay, so that's what we did. We put it here and we stopped kind of where we ended here. Okay, so they kind of line up. Opposite end, which is a very common thing, we are going to come a little bit further down, so we're not going all the way up into our hairline, and we're going all the way into the temple. So if you were with me from the beginning, and I used to say draw 3, I'm sorry, shouldn't have told you that. Take that away from your memory. So if I come and I bring it all the way down to my contour on this side, okay? The last place where we're gonna draw it on is going to be on our jawbone. So again, I'm still using the same side. So from here, I'm gonna put it right underneath, okay? And all the way up to the corner here, okay? That's where I want to create that more chiseled look. This side, which is a common mistake, is I'm actually gonna place it on my jaw, right on the tip. See how you can see that right here? Whereas here, I really made sure that I put it underneath, okay? We're gonna blend here in a second, but you notice some of the differences on placement. So here it was more so those fishy lips, which a lot of times we see on like well, I don't have TikTok, but some of those places where they do all those different like hacks and stuff, and coming all the way around and putting it right on the jawline versus keeping it up nice and tight into our hairline, stopping outside of our eye, coming up into our hairline here and stopping before we hit our temple, and making sure we put it underneath our jawline. Let's blend out. And I'm going to try to blend the exact same on each side, okay? So I'm just going to stipple this in. I don't want to flick it up too much. We will talk about that later today when we really get into our contours and some different approaches if you want more of a defined look versus not, okay? So I'm just pulling it back, okay? If I wanted it a little bit less, I would flick up just a tad, okay? And even still, I want to clean this up a little because I don't want it going in past my eye. Okay, now let's do this side. We're going to stipple it out first. And maybe we'll do a little flick up, not too much. But here I just want to show you how a lot of times people bring it in super far. Okay, and we can still clean it up. Like, I'm not opposed to that. Okay, now let's come up here and blend. So this side, I'm close to my hairline and I'm blending right back into it. Okay, and I'm staying away from this temple area. We'll talk about foreheads this afternoon too, and how much and how low and all that jazz. So don't worry, we got so much contour stuff going on today. Now this side, we're further away. We're not pulling all the way into our hairline, and we're coming all the way down. We're meeting up over here. So it's coming down the side of our face and meeting up in this corner, okay? Let's make sure. I don't want to like do this side any less justice, right? Let's come make sure that we're blended on both sides, okay? And now we got our two jawlines. So this one, remember I put it right underneath, and I just come and blend it down to create that natural shadow. Okay, this side, it was a little higher, but we're still gonna blend it the exact same way, blend it down, but it was higher. Remember kind of that 3? All right, let's take a look. I should maybe blend this a little bit more. Okay, let's take a step back and first and just kind of look at contour only. What's going on here? Okay, if I'm looking at this side, man, did I put a lot of contour on? I didn't put my lip and cheek on yet, so I don't want to blend it too much. Okay, so look at the two sides, okay? What's happening over here? We are getting more lift, and that's the whole premise behind contour, right? Is we're trying to lift, whereas this side, it was placed lower and brought further in. It's not really doing much, right? It's just bringing some darkness. It's not really giving us that lift that we're looking for. And here, I'm keeping my eyes nice and bright on the side. So again, it's giving that more that illusion of that lift, where here, it's super dark all the way around. So I feel like I'm kind of getting lost on this side. And then if we take a look here, I look like I have more of that defined jawline. And this is why I wanted to make sure my ring light was on. So I'm totally even lighting on each side, right? That's why I didn't want the windows to really combat us. Okay, so the ring light, we've got same lighting, but look here. I kind of have like that 5 o'clock shadow going on, right? Because I'm too high onto my jawline, okay? Where here, I'm creating more of that chiseled look. Here, I kind of look like I just have like a 5 o'clock shadow. Not what we're going for, right? Let's play on a little bit. Let's talk, what do I want to do next? Let's put our lip and cheek on next. We're gonna come into La Cienega, okay? I'm gonna use my detail brush. So based off where we are at with our contours, that's how I'm gonna place it. Think of it this way. I heard this the other day and I'm gonna start using it like crazy. Neapolitan ice cream. 3 layers, chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. Contour, lip and cheek, Illuminator. Fancy, right? I'm gonna start using that more. So La Cienega. This side, I'm just going right on top of my contour. I'm creating that strawberry layer, right? And I am even like pulling it up into my hairline too. Where now if we come on this side, remember it's lower, so we're still gonna do the same approach. We want that strawberry on next, right? If we're creating that Neapolitan ice cream. Okay, here we go. What are we thinking here? That lip and cheek color is still bringing that lift. It's still bringing that attention up. Where over here, now I feel like I got some rosacea going on, right? All because of where we started that contour. We started it lower and we started it more inside. Now I feel like I'm just putting a big distraction on my face, right? Whereas over here, I'm starting to get that contour and that lifting action going on, okay? So we could even, well, before we add our vanilla on top, I love that analogy, I think it's so fun. Let's flip on over. Let's talk about our brightening underneath, okay? And I talk about this all the time. And if you were, again, with me a year ago, I apologize. I was learning too. So I'm gonna come into the smaller end. I'm gonna dip into, this one is Aura. I'm gonna put a little bit of color on the inside and then some on the outside, and I am lifting it up, okay? Notice I'm lifting it up and I'm pulling it right back into that temple, okay? This side, I'm gonna do that whole V shape, right? Where you take it. So this is super common and I used to teach it this way too, but I wanna show you why I've moved away from it, and I apologize for doing that. So I'm creating that V shape down, okay? Notice how I'm doing that there? So this one's kind of coming down. This one I just put in the corner and I'm pulling it on up, okay? When we come in, I'm gonna come in with my blush and bronzer. I wanna try to keep it as normal as possible of how I like to apply it, so you guys don't think that I'm trying to, well, I am trying to persuade you, but just so I can really show you the difference that placement can make. So I'm just blending. So it's kind of like that Nike swoosh, right? We're just kind of blending it, and I'll even pull it on the side of my nose like I normally do. Now this one, we have that V shape. So I'm gonna blend it out in that V shape. Okay. All right, let's see what we got going on. And I'm gonna take the nice fluffy end here. Let's just make sure that this is all blended for us on both sides. Let's be fair. Okay. Okay, what do we got going on now? By having that in that inner corner, number one, we're brightening the inside of our face, which we like. And now I'm brightening this area where a lot of times our temples start to sink in. Versus over here, I'm creating that triangle. But remember I had all that contour because I wrapped it all the way down, making that big 3, okay? Notice how on this side, it does give that illusion of my temples sinking in more, okay? So I have that nice definition up here. I didn't pull it all the way back into my hairline, so if I go, show off my gray hairs, okay? Sometimes you are going to have that nice, like, blank spot of, oh my gosh, she wore makeup. Whereas here, when I'm pulling it back in my hairline, it's a little bit, a little bit more natural looking. Okay, now here, I feel like I'm just falling. Do you guys feel that too? Like here I kept that brightener nice and lifted and high, contour high, lip and cheek high. Where now, creating that V, I feel like I'm kind of pulling down. And I've got that, remember we did the fishy lip thing. We brought that contour in and we brought it in really far. I feel like I'm drooping over on this side. Compared to here, I'm getting that nice, beautiful, natural lift. Now, if we were to come in, let's put that cherry on top, the vanilla on top. I'm gonna come in with my blend brush, okay? I'm gonna come into Starlit, okay? And we're just gonna put that vanilla right on top. So remember, we had our contour, lip and cheek, and illuminator. Now over here, if we were to do that, now we're coming in a lot lower. And it just doesn't, like, when you smile and you have that illuminator on, notice how you just get that beautiful, like, oomph. Now over here, now I just kind of feel washed out because of where that illuminator is. Still beautiful, right? But now it's just a little bit more washed out. And I need to, you guys know me. Okay? So that's just, like, there is, I always go back and forth. Like, there is no right and wrong way, but really there is. And it makes a huge difference. The 5 o'clock shadow versus actually giving you that chiseled look. We brought it in way too far and way too low, so we're not doing anything besides just adding these weird shadows on our faces, right? And when we talk, like, then it like even indents more, whereas here, we're actually lifting, we're doing what we want with that contour by lifting up and chiseling out that cheekbone. And now I have this stuck in my hair, okay? Good thing I didn't do it today. There we go, okay? And then up on the sides here, by stopping right at this point of my eye, I am not bringing any more darkness in here, whereas here, by pulling that contour, I feel like I'm kind of pitting in. This side has that beautiful lift. This side is just, it's not flat-faced, right? Like, we still have the contour, but it's just not as defined, and it's not lifted, and it's not doing its whole purpose, okay? So what I'm getting down to is, like, contour is so important and where we place it, because we judge so many other things based off that contour, right? Because we started our contour lower, now our lip and cheek is lower, now we're starting to get a feel of, well, do I have some rosacea going on? Or, like, where's my lip and cheek color here, right? It kind of feels like, oh, now I'm giving myself more of that deep redness, whereas here I'm lifting and I'm bringing that color back in, but lifting, okay? So that was a lot, so I'm sorry. I do have some posts that show placement again. And everyone's face is different, okay? But that's why you need to use the landmarks on your own face, right? To put that contour on correctly. So again, and the pictures will show it, but you're using kind of this area where your ear meets your face to the outside of your eye. So if you have a rounder face, right? You're still getting that same line that we're creating. If you have a skinnier face, you're still gonna get it, but now it's probably gonna be a little bit more dramatic, right? So either way, like, we all have different face structures, but you're using the landmarks on your own face to put on your contour, which is then gonna build on everything else. And pulling that contour back into our hairline, stopping at that outside point again, okay, right? Instead of pulling it in, whether you are young and 20 or more mature in 40s, 50s, 60s, right? We don't want to start emphasizing this area where we start to pit in, and we actually want to bring that brightness up to lift, and then we can beautifully play with that illuminator, right? And we don't want to create that 5 o'clock shadow. That's what we're trying to not have, right? And we want to make sure that we're placing it underneath our jawline, or this fun little thing that our little extra love that we like to get. We want to make sure that it's underneath here. So we're creating that shadow underneath, not on top, creating a shadow, a 5 o'clock shadow right here, okay? A lot of information. So any questions, drop them below. I see people are watching. I'm not getting comments. Maybe at some point today. I will be hopping back on at 12 o'clock today. We are going to do contour and all the tricks, okay? So I'll show you a couple different brushes that we'll use for some tricks. We'll do different sides for our cheek contour, because I do want to show you how you can get more dramatic on one side versus a little less, because I know some people want to start playing up those contours. We'll also use, I'm not going to use as dark of a contour because I want to show you can still get that same look by using a lighter one too. So that'll be at 12, and then at 2, I'm going to do an eyeshadow look with some fun ones, some fun colors, and some more tricks, okay? Questions, please drop them below. Don't be afraid to ask. I know this was a lot, and we'll continue working on this in the VIP group too. So make it a great day, and I will see you ladies this afternoon.